Hey YouTube viewers, today we have a Smith & Wesson 686 Plus for your viewing pleasure. This was a 686-4. Before we get started with the video, please consider subscribing and leaving a thumbs up and positive comments if you like what you see. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, 686-4. So this one's a 686 Plus, like I said before, 7-shot cylinder. As you can see, I'm only rocking 6 snap caps. They don't sell a special pack for this one, I don't think. So 686 Plus. This is a -4. This one was built in around 1994, and this is right in between a time frame when Smith & Wesson was going away from the machined hammer and trigger and going to injection molded parts and installing a lock in the frame right here, an internal lock. So it's roughly about the same time they did that they started putting the 7-shot cylinder on these from the factory. So there was a short period of time where they started with the 7-shot guns, where they still had the machined hammer and trigger before they started using injection molding and minus the internal lock. So there's I think there was only about a year and a half or so that they did that, maybe a year. There's probably not a ton of them out there that are -4s with these parts without the lock. That's a plus cylinder. So I looked for a while before I bought, because I wanted exactly this right here, and I was pretty happy to find it at a good price. So this one came with this Hogue rubber grip on it, but I'm not a huge fan of rubber grips on them. It works. I mean, if you're wet and bloody hands and stuff and you had to fight, it'd probably be better, but I don't care. This wood looks so good on there. This one's a Hogue Gonçalo Alves from Brazilian or something like that. Hardwood. Yeah, it's fantastic. Feels good. Looks great on there. Big fan of it. Because this one's a round butt, so that's a conversion grip. Otherwise, I'd have the big wooden Smith & Wesson target stocks on there, because they look cool in the 686 too. I've got the same grips on my 629, and I dig them on there too. So, yeah. Took a look at that baby. Pretty good shape, but lighting's hard to do. Pretty guns. Pretty guns. Love some Smith & Wesson revolvers. Smooth shooting. Nice triggers on them. This thing was a little bit rough when I first got it, the trigger. I don't think it's been shot a whole lot, honestly. The turn line is pretty much non-existent. There's a little bit now. I've been dry firing it and shooting the gun, and it's the triggers loosened up a little bit since I got it. Yeah, I don't know if I talked about history. So the 686 was, I think, introduced in 1981 by Smith & Wesson as a six-shot 357 38 special. I think at the same time the 586 was introduced, which is the same gun. Basically, it's built on the L frame, and the 586 is a blued version of the same gun as this. So L frame, K frame, they're roughly the same size, but the L frame's got a little more mass to it. L frame's a little bit bigger to accommodate for a little bit larger cylinder, usually a full lug on the L frames, but the same grips are going to fit both pistols, so they're close, but the L frame's a beefed up version of the K frame from what I understand. So L frame guns. 1981, 586 and 686 were introduced. I think at the same time the 581 and 681 were introduced, which are the same gun on an L frame, but they don't have adjustable target sights. I think they have a fixed rear sight. Yep, so that was 1981. And then the guns were produced, a few various changes here and there, all the way up until I think around 2000, 1999 or 2000. And that's when I think they stopped production on them for a little while. I'm sure somebody will fix me if I got that wrong, but I think they stopped production on them for a little while, and then a few performance center models were made, and then they went back into production sometime later in 2000s, like 2010 or 12 or something like that. And now they're offered again from Smith & Wesson as a standard production model, not just performance center guns. Yep, it's a beauty. I was pretty pleased to find this one, being the plus model with the hammer mounted firing pin. Gosh, the beaut. Love it. Smooth, good shooter. Boy, I like these grips. I'm even tempted to get a set of these from my 629. A set like it. Same idea, but just for the end frame. Yeah, those are nice. Looks good too. I love the color of that wood and the grain and stuff. Checkering's just right. Finger grooves. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want finger grooves on a 44 mag. They work well on a 357 though. They haven't bugged me yet. They fit my hand, so my fingers just line right up with them. No issues there. Man, revolvers are pretty, huh? Something about them. I can finally shoot proper 357 Magnum loads because I got a K-frame model 19, which are advertised to have a weak forcing cone area inside of here where the barrel kind of funnels necks down into the rifling, where when the bullet leaves the cylinder after ignition, it goes into an area wider and then it narrows down a little bit and enters the barrel. So that's what the forcing cone is. And on L frame or K frame model 19s are supposedly weaker than the L frame versions. And if you shoot a lot of, people say if you shoot a lot of the hot 357 Magnum loads, with the light bullets, then you can potentially damage the forcing cone area or something like that. So just because it's an older gun and I didn't want to take too much chances on it, I limited its diet of the lighter, really hot 357 loads, like Underwood 357 loads. Now that's real ammo. You get just over the counter like Fiocchi or something like that. It's like 1,200 feet per second, where these are cooking at over 1,500 feet per second. Big difference. You know when you're shooting real 357 ammo. So, and now I can actually shoot that stuff in a gun that I'm not too worried about. It's because it's built for it. So that's pretty exciting. Yep, something cool about wheel guns. I shoot a lot of semi-autos. I carry semi-autos. I've been using semi-autos for a long time, wheel guns for a long time, but I'm always drawn to nice revolvers, man. Something special about them. Plus, if you can shoot one of these good, that big, heavy, double action, long trigger pull, if you can do that well, you can shoot anything well. That's really a test of how good of a shooter you are. If you can pull that big, long trigger pull all the way to the back and not move your sights while the trigger breaks. Yeah. So I see it as a challenge too. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for checking out the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed the eye candy and the shooting and stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.